Designation Academy 2026, behind the booth with Robert Bearden, Sanara. Welcome to New Orleans, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for having us, Kevin.
I can't wait to talk about what's here, because our commitment to the Designation audience is to bring them cool stuff, never before seen stuff, product breakthroughs, which we have here. But first,
yes, sir.
I've been hearing you got a story in our space personally of your journey, right? Walk us through how you got to here.
Yes, sir. So I really started as a medical device rep with Smith & Nephew and spent 5 years into the operating room. Really just focused on knees and hips, revisions, dabbled in some of the trauma as well. And I had the pleasure to work with a design surgeon around the hinge knee and what a revision would look like. And that sparked an interest to go back to school. And so I went back and got a PhD in molecular cell biology, cool. Really looking at the osteochondral interface, and then got to come back out and work with industry around biologics. Hey, how do we get to support bone, osteoarthritis, and really provide innovation back into our orthopedic community in a way. And so here in the last few years, had an opportunity to work with Tony Russell, Gerard Inslee, and partner with Biomimetic Innovations around a new technology that we're here to talk about today.
Let's walk through it. Give us a demo.
Yeah, so this is OsStic bioadhesive technology. Just for clarity, it's not on the market today. We're waiting for FDA approval, but it has been designated as a breakthrough device technology with the FDA for reduction, provisional fixation, and bone void filling capacity in a bone bioadhesive aspect. And so what we'll look at here today is, again, a model. It's a tibia plateau model, Schatzker type 2. So this is aimed to be the void defect, and then you have the epiphyseal depression. So this would represent the metaphyseal, and this would represent the epiphyseal area. So I'll kind of let you play with that, and we'll walk through it like a cooking show here.
Okay.
So
I'll see how that goes together.
So that's the model in and of itself. It's pretty simple. Tuck that back away here. And we invert the model so that when we inject, it all stays confined into the acrylic case. The material in and of itself is fairly simple. Comes into a syringe with the powder in one. You'll have the fluid in the other. It's a male-to-male lure lock. We estimate it's about 30 seconds from opening to the back table till when you're ready to inject into the tibia plateau fracture or into another fracture type. This material, indicated for peri-articular fractures, can go in a multitude of areas, right? Pilons, distal humerus, distal radius, proximal radius, the radial head. So we're really excited about the opportunity, and I think it's one of the struggles that we get a lot of feedback from is our KOLs and surgeons always asking, man, we've been asking for a bone glue. Why can't we have a bone glue? Why can't we get this stuff put back together? And it's exciting. I think the time is here. We're coming upon it, and credit to all the research that's been done, but we're well on our way in that way.
This is exciting. When I tried to pull it apart after it's set up,
yes, sir.
I couldn't. So savvy watchers, listeners are thinking bone glue. I've heard this story from a company out of China. That's not this.
No, sir. Different chemical structure, compound structures, and very different in the way that it really starts to attack and bind to that nanoscale of bone. I think oftentimes, and maybe in my naive days, we often thought of bone as just a flat, inert structure, when in actuality it's like a 70s shag carpet, right? That it wants to bind and wants to integrate in with those other biomaterials, but now we have a material that actually binds directly to the bone and creates that adhesion.
So I'm old enough to remember selling against the Russell Taylor nail.
Yes, sir.
And I understand that name is associated with this product.
Absolutely. Tony Russell, oftentimes there's a ton of cool technologies out there. Oftentimes we find cool technologies and we try and look for a home. What I think Gerard Inslee and Tony Russell have done have come together and said, hey, we have a need and a clinical challenge. Let's make a material that helps to solve a problem for us. And so you have a incredible technology, but you also have an identified clinical home for it.
Love the name, OsStic, bringing both of those worlds together. So Robert, for people watching this right now that want to follow this, keep up with it, and just jump on it the moment it gets launched? How do they keep an eye on y'all?
Yeah, so we have an exclusive partnership and distributorship within the U.S. At SanaraMedTech.com, S-A-N-A-R-A medtech.com. And there you can find the new technology on OsStic and our full portfolio. But before we do that, let's jump into a demo real quick. So I want to take off the male-to-male. We'll add the male-to-male lure lock. And again, it's about 30 seconds. So we'll do the injection here. So we've injected, we'll add the top back on, and it has a separate paddle. And so really, you're ready to go. You want to really get to the consistency of about an Elmer's glue. So Kevin, I'll kind of let you look at it. Does that look all mixed and kind of put together in a way that seems cohesive and all together?
We have consolidation.
Yes. And so then we would add our secondary paddle, and the goal there is get it to a consistency that you're appreciative of. Your injection window, it'll be about 1.5 to 2 minutes. So when you need to be ready to inject, right? So it's 30 seconds to get there. Now let's make sure we get it to the field and then into the space that we want to be in. So I'll add the paddle secondarily to it, and this isn't an uncommon device that's already on the market and would have familiarity to it. And then we're ready to vent our cannula.
I like the viscosity, good flow.
Yeah, we can put
some
some
narrow
right
gauge.
Here. And then we'll play with it in a couple of minutes. And so then you have an injectability window about 1.5 to 3 minutes, right? It continues to increase in its viscosity. And then you'll get to a point where it starts to go through a phase transition and becomes more and more set, or harder, if you will. And then so now we'll come to the front of this model and we'll just do a quick injection onto it. So we're filling the void. Again, making sure that we can keep our joint congruency with building up the joint line and the epicele. And the way that I always think about calcium phosphates is I think about them as a stack of bricks. And so traditionally that structure and that stack of bricks can be easily crumble or easy to push over. One of the key ingredients here is phosphoserine, and phosphoserine helps to act as a mortar between those bricks, and so you get this cohesiveness that it doesn't want to push over. It actually wants to stay together in that way. And so as a previously demoed, you can handle this part of it, but it won't crumble on you, and when you drill it, it ribbons. So it doesn't actually crumble in a way. So it has some structural and mechanical strength to it that allows for the support to your fracture repair along with the adhesive component to it.
Wow. So you have a model over here, fast forwarding to setup.
Yes, sir. So we fast forward to setup. So here again is our tibia plateau fracture model. And then as we go into distraction, holds there, and I'll let you kind of put your weight and pull into it.
Wow. That is integrated into that mold. That's unbelievable. Wow. This is an incredible product. You're going to want to follow this. You're going to want this in your bag. SanaraMedTech.com,
yes,
right?
Sir.
Robert, you got a winner here. Appreciate you showing it to us.
Thanks for coming by.
I wish you a great success here at the Academy, but I don't think I even need to say that with this. That's just incredible.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.